saw this girl in my dorm hallway act like I was trying to steal her boyfriend because I wasn't wearing a bra, so I got him banned from the building. So I live in a college dorm, and our entire floor is all girls. I'm pretty much always wearing a bra if I'm going outside or to class or whatever, but like, if I'm just walking 10 feet down the hall to fill up my water bottle or use the bathroom, I'm not putting on a bra. Nobody does that. It's our floor, we all live here, and half the time people are walking around in pajamas or towels going to the shower anyway. So a few days ago, I left my room to go to the water fountain. I was wearing a white tank top and no bra. The tank top wasn't see-through or anything, but yeah, you could probably see the outline if you were looking. I filled up my water bottle, walked back to my room. The whole thing took maybe 2 minutes. There was a small group of people hanging out in the hallway near some of the other rooms, but I didn't really pay attention to them. It's a dorm. People hang out in the halls all the time. About half an hour later, I hear a knock on my door. I open it, and it's one of the girls from that group in the hallway. I recognized her from orientation at the start of the year. We talked a few times back then. She had this kind of awkward smile on her face and was like, "Hey, so sorry to ask you this, but if you go out into the hall again, could you maybe put a bra on?" My boyfriend was out there and he was kind of staring, so I'm not a confrontational person at all. Like, I hate conflict. So I was just like, "Oh yeah, sure, sorry about that." Even though in my head I was thinking, why is that my problem if your boyfriend can't control himself? But whatever. I didn't want to make it into a thing. So for the rest of that night, anytime I left my room, I threw on a bra or a hoodie. I figured that was the end of it. It wasn't. The next day, my roommate came back from the bathroom and told me she'd overheard the girl talking to her friends in there. She said the girl was making the whole thing sound completely different from what actually happened. She was telling them that I'd been basically half naked, taking my sweet time at the water fountain, posing and arching my back to make my chest stick out, like I was purposely trying to get her boyfriend's attention. My roommate said the girl was literally acting it out at the water fountain, pretending to be me, pushing her chest out and everything. Her friends were all laughing. I was so annoyed. Like, I was out there for 2 minutes filling up a water bottle. I wasn't doing anything. But apparently, this girl had turned it into some whole dramatic story where I was trying to seduce her boyfriend. That night, I had to go brush my teeth before bed. I was already in my pajamas, which was just a t-shirt and shorts, and obviously I wasn't wearing a bra because I was getting ready for bed. I passed the girl and a few of her friends in the hallway on my way to the bathroom. The girl looked directly at my chest, then looked at her friends, and they all started giggling. I just kept walking, but I was pissed. Then yesterday, the entire dorm got an email from our RA. It said she'd received some anonymous complaints about people not dressing appropriately in the hallways, and asked everyone to please make sure they're keeping things covered up. I knew exactly who submitted that complaint. This girl had literally gone to the RA and complained about me not wearing a bra in my own dorm. I was done being nice about it. I remembered from orientation that the girl's boyfriend doesn't actually go to school here. He goes to some other college like an hour away. I also remembered that because of the pandemic, our dorm has a rule that we're not allowed to have non-student guests this year. Only students from our school and family members are allowed in the building. And on top of that, everyone has to wear a mask in the hallways, which is a rule that barely anyone follows, but it's still technically a rule. So I went to the same anonymous complaint form that the girl had obviously used, and I submitted a complaint. I said I'd noticed people bringing their off-campus boyfriends into the dorm, and that these guests weren't wearing masks in the hallways. I kept it vague, didn't mention any names, just like she did with hers. This morning, we all got another email from the RA. It said that due to anonymous complaints, they'd be enforcing the no off-campus guests rule from now on. Anyone bringing a guest into the building would have to show their student ID at the front desk to prove they actually go to school here, and masks would be enforced in the hallways. I saw the girl in the hallway later that day, and she looked mad. She was on the phone with someone, probably her boyfriend, saying something like, "I don't know, they're checking IDs now, you can't come over anymore."